Hi everyone. In this video, I would like to bring to you about economic analysis. When an investor, when he is doesn't have any information about how to choose stocks, and when he is a layman and he is for the first time investing into the stock market, he should know some things in which he has to understand and he has to analyze the things so that he can come to one opinion and can invest on the stocks. So now in this video, I would like to present you about economic analysis, which is at most important as a macroeconomic factor for every investor to understand. So before going into it, let me explain you about what is fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis explains you about the market price of the asset, which tends to move its real value or intrinsic value of the asset. So in this fundamental analysis, an investor makes an attempt to study everything that can affect the share price because he should understand what affects the share price. He should understand that first and then invest next. So in this context, we should study the fundamental analysis. And fundamental analysis includes economic analysis, industry analysis, and company analysis. So in that, economic analysis is one of the part of it. And why we have to study fundamental analysis is we want more satisfaction for every rupee spent. And everyone wants to maximize his benefit so that he should understand what are all the sensitivities that are there in the market and upon what basis share prices are fluctuating and how the movements of the markets are going on. And if you as a rational investor, you should understand all these things. So in this connection, I would like to bring you about this fundamental analysis. As I have priorly said, fundamental analysis includes economic analysis, industry analysis, and company analysis. So what is economic analysis is, economic analysis relates to the analysis of the economy, and this is related to study about the economy in details and analysis whether economic conditions are favorable for the companies to prosper or not. Analyst always tries to find out whether the economic development is conducive for the growth of the company, and an investor in a security market can give prediction about the future of share price of a company on the basis of the study of forces affecting economic environment of the country. And what factors of economic analysis are important are GDP of the country, interest rates, performance of security market, supply and demand of money, inflation rate, government borrowings and loans, taxation policies and rates, consumer and goods market, and foreign direct investment and balance of payments. So all these accompany economic analysis, which where the rupee is spent, how the economy is going on, how the country is going on what factors does these markets are dependent upon. So the economy is studied to determine if overall conditions are good for the stock market, it will go in a positive direction. And what are the major tools of economic analysis are gross domestic product, fiscal policy, monetary policy, saving rate, and the that is interest rate, and the trade deficit and the exchange rates are some of the major tools of economic analysis. And what is gross domestic product is GDP is the measure of the value of goods and service produced within the domestic boundary of country. And for example, if a firm buys wood logs and adds value to it by making a wooden table out of it, then the GDP, we will take the value of wood logs plus the increase in the value of wood logs when they are charged into a table. Automatically, the country will be getting revenue from it. And once the GDP is one of the most important indicators used for the measurement of the strength of the country's economy, it is one of the important factor which is at most important to a country. And the fiscal policy framed by the country, whether fiscal policy directly affects stock market or not, its effects, because fiscal policy is the policy through which government adjusts its spending and tax rates to stabilize the economy so that Commonly it has been stated that government spending in the form of subsidies usually reduces the cost of production and thus leaving scope for larger profit of the firm. So that's why fiscal policy also plays an important role. And the monetary policy is next. Monetary policy is the instrument which it controls the supply of money. That is, namely, it is deciding about the interest rates at which money can be borrowed, and an increase in the interest rate, if not accompanied by increase in return of equity, then investors will get inclined towards debentures and bonds rather than equity, and hence monetary policy plays an easy uh, task so that where the money is flowing, how the money is flowing, how the prices are affected can be understood, and the saving rates, that is the interest rates. Whether then increase in interest rate and decrease in interest rate, what happens? Changes in individual saving rate affect the flow of funds into investments. So that interest rates are also a very important vital role in economic analysis. And the trade deficit. What is this trade deficit? Trade deficit occurs when countries' imports are more than the exports. If a country is specifically dependent on only imports, what is will be the GDP rate of that country? What will be the balance of payments of that country? Then we have to understand whether who will be investing in that particular country if all the way we are importing the goods. So trade deficit and is also an important task, and the exchange rates. So exchange rate is also another factor that affects the trade or net exports between the countries, because these exchange, for example, if you say dollar, it acts as one of the major player in the currencies. Dollar, yen, pound. So when we the why the value of those currencies are very high than the other countries' exchange rates. So, hence, it is important for us to understand. And in the end, economic analysis, as we have discussed, as an indicator of how changes in economic factors will influence a company, it is a true fact that changes in economic policies and environment will affect the environment in which business is done and companies operate. So, and always GDP and how these components are related to the performance of the industry and companies are also required, so that we should understand how economic analysis is important for us as an investor. To analyze a particular country's stock is important, a particular country's share market is moving ups and downs. So all these depends upon the economic analysis. So I hope you might have understood about in this video what is the importance of economic analysis, which plays in fundamental analysis, and how it is important to analyze the stocks. Thank you, everyone.